Hello, Grade 2. This is Miss Saw. In our Bible lesson for this week, we will be learning about Daniel and his friends and how he is faithful. So please get your work text ready and let's begin. So the story of Daniel takes place when Israel is conquered by different nations. We've learned before that after Israelites escaped Egypt, they were later conquered by Babylonian kingdom, and then later conquered by Persia. Today's story of Daniel takes place when Israel is conquered by Babylonia. So when the city of Jerusalem was taken over by a Babylonian army, the Babylonians took with them all the smartest and the best men of Jerusalem back to Babylon. Among those men were Daniel and his three friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. They were later given Babylonian names and were told to study the language and the books of Babylonia. Now I want you to pause this video and watch the first YouTube video that I linked in your email today and then come back. Alright, so let's now move on to our work text, page 85. Number 1. Daniel and his friends showed resolve. They faithfully decided to make godly choices. Circle the godly choices you can make. So you're going to read each of these dishes and circle the ones that you think are godly choices that you can make in your daily life. And once that's done, you can move on to number 2. Look up the verses below with a partner. Decide if the people showed faithfulness or unfaithfulness to God. Place an X in the correct box. So since we don't have a partner, we're actually going to do this together. First, let's look up the word faithfulness in our glossary. What does the word faithfulness mean? It means constant loyalty. So the word faithfulness means constant loyalty. And the word constant, it can mean something like not stopping, continuing, or doing something again and again. And the word loyalty could mean something like keeping promises, supporting, or following it no matter what happens. So that means someone who shows faithfulness would not stop keeping promises or continue supporting what they believe or follow their faith no matter what happens. All right, so we're going to look up these 3 verses. The first one is about Moses from Exodus chapter 4, 19 through 20. Let's read together. Now the Lord had said to Moses in Midian, "Go back to Egypt, for all those who wanted to kill you are dead." So Moses took his wife and sons, put them on a donkey, and started back to Egypt. And he took the staff of God in his hand. So is Moses showing faithfulness? Yes, he is. Moses is showing faithfulness by listening to God and following his directions even though he's scared. What about the second verse? This verse is about most of the people in Sodom and Gomorrah. Then the Lord said, "The outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is so great and their sin so grievous, so when God destroyed the cities of the plain, he remembered Abraham, and he brought Lot out of the catastrophe that overthrew the cities where Lot had lived." So are these people in Sodom and Gomorrah showing faithfulness? No. It says clearly here, the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is so great and their sin so grievous. So they are not following God's words, and they made him so upset that God destroyed the cities. Then our last one, Nehemiah. I also told them about the gracious hand of God on me and what the king had said to me. They replied, "Let us start rebuilding." So they began this good work. Did Nehemiah and his fellow Israelites show faithfulness? Yes. Nehemiah went to the city of Judah and he rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem for God, and all the other Israelites supported him. So now you can complete this last part by marking the boxes correctly with an X. Before you move on to the next page, you have to pause this video and watch the second YouTube video that I linked in your email. And then you can begin. Number 1, match the person or people to the correct phrase. And number 2, pretend you are Daniel and tell King Nebuchadnezzar what his dream meant. And again, you have to pause this video, watch the second video, and please come back after you're done. The video that we just watched doesn't tell us much about the king's dream, so we're going to go over King Nebuchadnezzar's dream before we start page 86. So we have this huge scary statue, its head made of gold, the chest and arms are made of silver, the belly and thighs are made of bronze, and the legs and feet made with iron and clay. So iron and clay doesn't mix very well together, so that means it won't be very strong. And here's this huge rock that flies and breaks this statue apart into pieces. And after that is done, this huge stone will turn into a mountain. This is a very strange dream, isn't it? So let's now see the meaning of this very strange dream. The gold head means King Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom. The chest, arms, belly, and legs means other kingdoms. The stone that breaks the statue and turning into a mountain means God's kingdom will never be destroyed, even though all the other parts of the statue will be broken. Let's go over that one more time. The gold head represents King Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom. The rest of the statue represents other kingdoms. And the stone that breaks the statue and turns into a mountain represents God's kingdom. So what does that mean? It means that even though all these other kingdoms will fall apart, God's kingdom will never be destroyed. With that information, I want you to try finishing number 2. And you're going to pretend that you are Daniel and tell the king Nebuchadnezzar what his dream was about. And you can always go back to this and pause the video as you write down a couple of sentences. On Thursday, we will continue learning about Daniel. So until next time, goodbye everyone.